Welcome to the Dice Tower, a series of video reviews about board and card games. Here are your hosts, Tom Vasel and Sam Healey.
Hey, welcome to Miami Dice. It's been a bit, but we're back. Today we're talking about Run, Fight, or Die.
That's an interesting choice.
I'm Run.
Oh,
I can't run, so you know I'm fighting.
really? Guys, I thought we were...
He did. You know he did. So.
Now, here's the deal. With us, I don't know where you lie on the spectrum. I'm getting tired of zombie games. And you were never even into them to begin with.
They don't
That
bother
much.
me, though.
They don't bother you, but it doesn't
no.
excite you either. So you're kind of neutral?
I'm kind of neutral, yeah. It's other things in the game that will get me. Zombie games can be great, and there's zombie games that are very bad. And
Well, this one does have the designer Richard Launius, which is a positive.
Yep.
And it's a dice game, which for you is a positive.
Yep.
Full of zombie miniatures, which is a positive for everybody.
Yep.
So let's take a look at it. Each player has a board placed in front of them with zone 1, 2, or 3. These are the zombies that are coming at you. You start with 9 zombies on the board. You also start with a character who you are. So, for example, here I might be the army vet that shows how much life you have. So I have 5 life. A special ability that you have, like the army vet gets an extra roll every turn. And then a special dice combo that if you can pull that off, something happens. You can also be the sweet prom girl, phone technician, athlete, outdoorsman, or the country girl. But we'll be the army vet, because I like him. Now on a turn, players are going to be rolling dice. They're going to be rolling 5 of these white die that show different symbols on them, and a gray event die. So what you're going to do on your turn is you're going to roll these dice, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to consult the event die to see what happens there. Each side of the event die does something different. Some are bad. Like this lets you heal a wound, or it lets you move 2 zombies back 1 zone. Here, you take a wound from getting a zombie. Here, you can change 1 die to whatever you want, or it gives you a free zombie reroll. Here, you'll have fewer zombies attack you at night. So there's different things. Here, more zombies rise from the ground. Not a good thing. So once you've resolved the event die, you take it out of the way, you look at the rest of your icons, and you can say, oh, I'm going to keep some, I'm going to re-roll some. So in this instance, I'll say, I'm going to keep these 2 books, I'm going to keep this gun, and I'm going to keep the bat, and I'm going to re-roll this die. That's another gun. You know what? I'm going to stop there and keep those. Now, on one side of the die are zombie symbols. These are going to bring extra zombies, and when you roll them, you cannot re-roll these. You have 2 re-rolls that you can use, although with the army vet I would have 3 re-rolls, but you can't re-roll these. However, once per turn, you are allowed to re-roll all the zombies if you'd like to. When you do that, though, you have to draw a fleeing card. And fleeing cards are never going to be positive things. Well, maybe they are, but probably not. Discard all my loot. So I can re-roll these, but I have to get rid of any cool loot cards that I might have. Or here, add 2 zombies to zone 3. Well, that's not so bad. That's pretty much the same thing. Or here, add 1 zombie to zone 3. So sometimes the fleeing is a better option. But all it does is let you re-roll these, and you might you might roll zombies again. So what do the different symbols mean? Well, a gun does 1 point of damage to any zombie in any zone. So I got to say, shot this guy. A bat does 2 points of damage, but only to zombies in zone 1. So the ones that are getting close to you. So boom, take out both those guys with the bat. A running icon makes a zombie run back 1 zone. And if they're on the last zone, they run away. Hooray! I already talked to you about the zombie symbol. Then we have the book and the follower symbols. These matter on basically however many that you roll of each one. We'll talk about the book first because that can do some pretty cool things. Just 1 book has you draw an event card. And event cards can be all sorts of things. Here's a good rest after you keep this card and you play it on a future turn. When you draw a location card, you can discard it to heal 2 wounds. There's all sorts of event cards that can happen and different things here. Add 3 zombies to zone 3. Add 2 zombies to everyone else's zone 3. So events could be good or bad. You know, they're not the best thing to draw, but that's what you get with 1 book. With 2 books, you can draw a location card or a loot card or heal a wound. Now, location cards are cards that you can put in front of you. They're big cards, and these cards will let you do, for example, this one here, the old barn, lets you draw an event card and resolve it. At the start of your next turn, you're going to heal 2 wounds, and then you add a zombie to zone 3. So there's all sorts of things these locations can do. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Loot is a very cool thing because loot can do all sorts of neat things. Here's an axe. This lets you change any non-zombie icon to a bat icon. So if I want a bat, I can use this axe. And this comes with, you put 3 tokens on, you can use 3 times. Binoculars, you put 2 tokens on, you can use times. This lets you change a non-zombie icon to a follower icon. Here you can discard this card to push 4 zombies from zone 1 all the way back to zone 3. So loot is always a good thing to get. So 2 books can get you a loot card, a location card, or you heal a wound. 3 books lets you get a follower, which I'll talk about in a second, or you can clear 1 zone of all the zombies. The power of the book. And they're all gone. And you draw an event card, or you can heal 2 wounds. 4 icons lets you switch one of your followers with someone else, clear a zone of all zombies, or heal all your wounds. 5 book icons lets you steal a follower from somebody else, clear a zone of zombies, and get a follower. Draw 2 followers and keep both, or heal all wounds and draw a loot card. But 5 books is very difficult to roll. Now, followers. They're usually gotten, let's move this to the side here. Followers are usually gotten by rolling the follower die. 1 lets you draw a location, so that's, you know, I already mentioned locations. 2 lets you draw a follower. Now, there are different types of followers in the game, and they're the main way to get points. Here's a follower here. This is a mysterious occultist. At the end of the game, he's worth only 1 point, but once per turn, you can use a reroll to reroll all the zombie icons without drawing a fleeing card. So that's pretty cool. This guy here is a dumb jock, but he kills 1 zombie automatically in your zone 1 at the start of your turn. This is a positive thing, and he's worth 2 points at the end of the game. Here's a screaming cheerleader. She's worth 4 points, but at the start of your turn, you add 2 zombies to your zone 3. She's attracting people. So a lot of the higher cost people have negatives, or sometimes they have positive and negatives. This guy here, at the start of your turn, move 2 zombies back from zone 2, but he also causes you to lose a reroll every turn. Or this obnoxious councilman, you lose 2 rerolls when you have him. I'm in charge here. Or Infected Tim, who has the chance, if you ever roll 3 or more zombie icons when you're rolling dice, he turns into a zombie himself. So rolling these follower icons, the more you roll, the more followers you can get. If you roll all 5, for example, you can draw 2 followers and keep both of them, or you can steal a follower from another player. There's also the mega roll, and this is down here. If you roll this exact combo here, and hit this case with the army vet, 3 zombies, a book, and a running, when you roll that, you ignore the zombie icons and you move all zombies in zone 1 all the way back to zone 3. And each person has their own cool zombie combo. At the end of your turn, you're going to automatically add 3 zombies to zone 3. But before you do that, all the zombies are going to move. The zombies in zone 1 attack you and then are discarded. Each zombie will cause you a wound. So you take wound tokens, and if you take enough wound tokens to pass 5, you're dead. Then the other zombies move. Zombie 2s go through zone 1, zombie 3s go to zone 2. Like I said, you'll add 3 more zombies to zone 3, plus a zombie for each zombie die that you've rolled. The only way to get out of this is if on the event die you rolled a quiet night, and you don't add the 3 then, but you'll still add other zombies. And there's other ways for you to get zombies. In fact, every once in a while, because of a location card, or an event card, or a running card, the zombie boss will show up. Now, he's just a big token. They actually have a miniature that you can get for the zombie boss and use in this game. When he shows up, he comes with a whole pile of wound tokens, and the way to get rid of his wound tokens is to shoot him with gun icons. Each of those you'll get the tokens, and you'll get 1 point each. If you shoot all of them, he goes away. If you don't shoot all of them, he moves to the next player, but before he does that, you draw a card from this mutant pile, which can be all sorts of things. This one here summons zombies. So he adds 2 zombies to zone 3 and 1 zombie to zone 2. Here, you just take a wound from a radiation attack. Here, command zombie frenzy. 2 zombies to your zone 3, 1 zombie to everyone else. So there's all sorts of things. He's just going to keep bringing in more zombies and do radiation attacks and stuff. He's not a very pleasant person. Feel the pain. All players advance 2 zombies on their board. Now, the game is going to end when either a player dies, and that player automatically loses if they die, or if somebody has 5 followers, they can declare an end of the game, or if there's a total number of followers in front of everybody, which depends on the number of players, and an end of line card is drawn. At that point, players will get points for how much health they have remaining. So if I have 2 wounds, I would get 3 points. The points for each follower they have, and points for any tokens that they have in front of them. Whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. Okay, production values.
Very good.
Chips were so-so. Miniatures were awesome. Player boards were cool.
I like all of it. I mean, I think everything's pretty well done. The miniatures are good. They're not spectacular, but they don't need to be. You know, there's like 50 billion of them, so you can't really make them that high quality. But they do their job well. They look good. The dice I really like.
Yeah,
they're nice. They're not printed on the surface, but they're actually indented. You know,
right.
So they will not wear off very easily, or at all, really. And I think the production's very good.
Yeah, I was saying to Z that you could have made this game with cubes. You could have made a small game and you move cubes at you, but the miniatures, well, no, but I mean the miniatures helped.
Absolutely, they helped
a lot.
Yeah.
And
there's just that visual, cool aspect to you, or have a horde of zombies coming at you.
These little things are so-so.
Okay, but
These little things.
I do like how the artwork in this game, it meets that criteria to me where it shows this nasty zombie, but it doesn't get overly gross, and I also think the theme is fantastic.
You're usually a stickler for the cards, bro.
Let me see.
You don't like those cards.
What?
No, I think these are actually pretty good. They're nice and thick. They have a good thickness.
Usually you like the ones that have that veneer.
I like linen cards, but these are actually a really good quality for not being linen finish.
I'm just trying to catch you in a lie, that's all.
Okay.
I like it.
Anyhow, I like the artwork in this game a lot, and I love the theming, especially amongst the followers.
Yes.
They're such good categories.
Very funny.
You got the infected, or wait,
there's like the guy
not hurt that bad.
Yeah. And you have the it's just funny stuff. You know, you got the carrying
on, the spunky mom.
Yeah.
You know, infected Tim. I'm okay, man. It's just funny.
And it's funny because sometimes they're like negative. They're like, oh, I got to bring this old lady with me, and she keeps doing this.
Right.
And so, but the game mechanisms themselves, I mean, because the theme in all these pieces doesn't mean anything if the game isn't fun.
Right.
This is a game that's based on the Yahtzee mechanism where you roll dice in multiple times, but it has some different things. One thing that I've never seen in any of these games is the flee mechanism, where you can re-roll dice you don't like, but then you have to take a bad card.
Yeah,
it's such a great idea.
Yeah, it's a nice push your luck decision on top of other push your luck decisions. It's brilliant. It's simple, but it works really well.
I also like the ultimate combo each character has, even though I almost never see it happen, the fact that it's there.
These cards are awesome. I'm loving them.
What did you think? When you played, did you get that ultimate combo where if someone rolls the combo on their card, it's really...
No. And matter of fact,
the fact that it exists, though, makes me happy.
The fact that it exists is pretty cool. But I found that most of the time I was just trying to keep the zombies off of me.
Yeah.
And I think that's how
But like Tom was saying, it's good that it's there, because if you get a first roll and you have like 3 or 4 out of the 5, you're gonna go for it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And if you fail, then the zombies are gonna eat you. I mean, there's like you're gonna get at least 2, 3 on top of the ones you get normally.
Right. Yeah.
So I like that. I like that if you get a really bad roll, and it would be to make you want to try for the combo, because every combo requires 3 zombies. You're gonna want to do it. I like that.
Right.
I think, though, it's cool, though, because the zombies are coming towards you, and you feel like you can fight them off to some degree. It's not impossible.
Right.
It can seem that way sometimes, but you might be able to roll the 3 books and just wipe a whole row, or get a bunch of bats when they're in the front, or whatever. When the big boss zombie shows up, then things get a little hairy. He's sending new guys out and stuff. But I don't know. I think the theme was there. My only problem with the theme is occasionally I could get with 4 players it can slow down just a little.
Right.
I think it's almost best as a 2 or 3 player game. Or 1. I haven't played single.
I've only played it with 4, and it never really felt like it bogged down.
But you can get, well, I mean, it doesn't have to. You can get into the theme.
Right, right.
You can say, you know, haha, look at that. You got the obnoxious councilman.
Well, yeah, we were always laughing at each other. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
We were like saying, whoa, there's no way you're going to get out of that. And then, you know, the guy rolls like, you know, a whole bunch of bats and he knocks out everybody in the first row. And it just, so there's the luck factor to it, but it's really fun. It adds to that lighthearted zombie theme.
Right, but I think you're right that 3 or 4 is probably the sweet spot. Tom's saying 3, and you're saying about 4.
Yeah.
And I'm right there with you guys. Like 3 or 4, I think is where I would want to keep playing this. I really like also that when you have the big guy show up, the massive mutant guy, he changes the game somewhat, but not drastically. Because I tend to not like that too much. When you're playing a game and there's one thing that can happen, and now the game's like a different game. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It actually feels like a movie, though, in the sense that the big guy shows up, right? So like, bah, 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 and eventually he goes away. And then later on he can show up again. Oh, he's back! Oh, it's that guy! I thought we escaped him.
I like what that adds a lot, but I don't think it's very destructive to the base game. I think it adds more to it, and it does its job well. It adds a little bit more tension, moves along, messes with everybody. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah. I like the aspect of how the in-game works, where if one person dies, they are absolutely not going to win.
Right.
And then you add up the points.
And then
for
the game's
everybody
over
else.
also.
Oh, yeah, the game ends. No player elimination.
And then have to wait around.
And then you add up to see who actually won the game.
Right.
You know who lost, but who won.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now realize that the game is light. There's no way around that. It's a light game, but I like it. I'm giving this one 2 baseball bats up. The bloody baseball bats. I enjoy it because I like the Yahtzee thing. I like how I can roll. There's so many different combos you can roll, and you're going. Oh, I guess I wouldn't mind if they had put in 2 more reference cards in the box, but that would have been helpful.
A good point.
But anyway,
Player reference cards always help.
Yes.
But I like the different combos I can roll. But at the same time, I'm not sitting there trying to puzzle them out. I'm just saying, okay, bats, definitely I'm hit. And it's thematic. The bat hits the guy in the front row. The gun shoots the guy in the second row. Yeah. Running away is not the best thing, but hey, sometimes you got to do it.
Right.
So, 2 bloody baseball bats up.
Okay.
I'm going to give it 2 stoner mechanics up, dude. Chill out, man. I thought it was the flavor text on the follower cards just made me seriously laugh while we were playing the game, and that just really when games do that, I think it's really cool. I think some games just miss the mark. They could add a little bit of flavor on the cards, and that just makes the theme come alive a little bit more.
Right.
And so I just really enjoy the game. It really feels like you're fighting off the zombie horde, and you're really fighting for your life. And there's some times where it's just dire circumstance, and you're never going. And then something happens, and you get out.
Yeah, that does happen. Right.
It's a very thematic game, and I love thematic games. And this is one that does justice to the theme, but doesn't take itself too seriously.
That's a good point, right? And that's exactly what I was going to say, which is that the game, you can tell that it was designed from the point of view of fun.
Yeah.
It's all about the fun first. You can tell everything was attacked from that angle. It's all about the fun. And the mechanics, yes, they're there, but they are secondary to the fun.
Yeah.
Is everything there to service that? That's why I think I enjoyed it so very much. I like light games anyway. I like the zombie theme just fine, but the fun of this game really comes at you. You can feel it. It gets you giddy, you know? That's what I like about it so much. So I'm going to give it 2 blazing guns up.
All right. Well, I guess the game has fought, and I was going to try to make some kind of run, fight, or die thing, but I don't think I can.
So run and get it. Huh?
Fight the other people.
Fight for it. Don't kill anybody, though.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's
I'm trying to think about the die. Oh, and roll the die. Oh!
That was so lame.
Failure.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.